So here's the first object, simple pyramid with a cylinder taken out of it. So just extrude the face, pull it up, resize it, delete the bottom face, and then switch to a side view in order to more closely match the two shapes together. So just resize it, get it close. Okay. So we're going to add a Boolean object. So to do that, first make a multi-cut across the side to give us a little bit of geometry up top, some good divisions for the stick to. Create a set cylinder, set its sides to 8. And then by turning on wireframe, we'll be able to snap it to the center. Hold down V, snap. Now that everything's lined up, shrink it, resize it, get it to fit. And then do a Boolean difference. It'll disappear, but change the mode to edge and it will reappear. It's probably a good idea to go back and all the little vertices that where they should be merged, go ahead and use do a merge on those vertices, just to help with cleaning up the edge loops, the edge flow. Here I'm going to divide the edges down the side of the pyramid, get them nice and even. Hold down Shift to snap to those outer edges. So click, Shift click, Shift click. Alright, so that maintains our nice quad geometry throughout the shape. Now select the edges around the top and the outside. And then Boolean, I'm sorry, bevel. This time we didn't have something did not work out right with the bevel. I believe this was because the vertices had not quite been merged together. So on a retry, after double checking with the geometry, beveled one section, okay, that'll work. So select top cap, select around, bevel it. Alright, segments 2. I think my fraction was left at 0.1. Looks pretty good. So now double click the bottom, bevel it, double click the top, bevel it. Alright, that should hold that piece complete. So moving on to the next piece, what we need to do is put the cylinder inside the smooth side. So split it with the edge split ring or insert edge loop. I think I use edge split ring with the multi mode, so it gives us 2. Select the 2 faces and pull them up. Look at our side view, make sure the height is what we want it to be. And then what we're going to need to do is divide that in half and also firm up that edge just a little bit. So go ahead, firm that edge up. And then split edge loop. or split edge ring there. And now for the cylinder, create another 8-sided cylinder. There we go. Create cylinder, change its sides to 8. Wireframe on, snap it to our center, and then resize it so that it fits inside the example. Line everything up. Shift, click, select, Boolean difference, just like we did before. Change mode to edge. Okay. 3, this helps check and see if we have any geometry that didn't line up right. Again, I think it's always a good idea to go around whatever has been boolean together and make sure you merge your vertices together, because just in case you don't have any overlapping ones. In this case, what I'm looking at here is the edge flow, and notice how it all goes from left to right across the top. So what we're going to try to do is keep with the right to left edge flow. So we're going to kind of fence in, box in the cylinder shape, and try to make all of our connections are maintaining a nice grid shape, versus trying to create any 45-degree angles coming off of the cylinder like we did with the one before. So we're trying to avoid the X's. So I'm using the multi-cut tool right here and just clicking, holding down shift and dragging, and it'll slice the object. It's a real quick way to kind of insert an edge loop approximately where you want to. So I might fence in one from one side, one from the other, just to help hold the shape. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the outside as well. So here, add some more edge loops off of that. See how I'm going from left to right. Now I'm not trying to make these cuts exact, because what I'm going to do is take my move snap and snap those to where they're aligned with the vertice. So they should be aligned now. So just vert snap them. And everything should be nicely lined up. Here's a spare edge. Control delete. Get rid of it. Multi-cut. Do the same thing. Just repeat it out from the other direction. Again, just kind of trying to create this kind of quad geometry. And by deselecting that top vertice but selecting the rest, I can squeeze them together to where they are perfectly aligned, then grid snapping back. So go ahead and line those up along that axis and then snap along that axis, or snap to that vertex location. So we now should have rather straight geometry coming off of those points. Do the same thing to this edge here. Snap it in a line. Select all the edges, bevel them. Gives us a pretty good result. You may need to, after you bevel, straighten your edges back again, and then that way you can just kind of tidy it up a bit. But this is actually pretty close. I mean, you could add more edges, another edge loop to help fence it in a little more, but you don't have to. This is just a little tweaking of the curve, softening it up just a little bit. Again, for making the quad workflow or the quad topology, get those edge loops close but not touching. Don't have your cross edge flow actually touch the cylinder shape. Get it close so that you can maintain a good quad in those corners. So again, I could have added another edge loop to the top and to the very far right and the very far left, or I guess on this angle above and below the cylinder, but again, not a huge deal. For this last shape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it, poly split edge one way, and then I'll poly split edge another way. In this case, I'm going to poly split it, adjust the height, use that cut, the multi-cut tool, pull that down either side so I have my nice framed face. And then insert an edge loop on either one, because the corners of the inset piece actually do not occur at the exact point of the corner of the slope. They actually extend over a little bit. It's kind of one of the tricks to the shape is the very top and the very bottom of the inset piece do not line up with the slope. They actually overhang a little bit. And so you want to make sure that you can apply your corner fencing or bevels to those areas. So what I'm going to do here is just select the edges and the edges that run outside of the shape at those corners. And first, let me tweak the face a little bit, get it a little bit wider, helps soften up that that edge for the bevel, for the hill shape. So now I'm going to go back and select all the borders for the inset. So select all those and select all the ones that come out from your corners. If you don't do this, you'll end up with a weird triangle mess in your corners, but you want to make sure you get those. Now my first bevel fails. As you'll see, I forgot to select a couple of my corners right there. You can see they're hanging loose, and that's going to give me a problem. So go back, select these, and bevel one more time. Sometimes you miss stuff. The trick is to make sure that you can identify when we miss something and then fix it. So 2 segments, 0.25 on the bevel, smooth it up, have a really nice looking kind of shape. Alright, that's it.